Yeah, I guess it's the media has all these funny things like, it's like, so what is the awareness ethnicity months of the United States, like of America? I guess January is what happens in January. It's a new year, and then it's not Black History Month, but they have like Martin Luther King Day, right? MLK Day is in January, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Could be mistaken. I don't keep up with all things MLK. I'm not an MLK historian, obviously. So, February is Black History Month, right? And then, like, okay. March is Rodeo Awareness Month. Nah. Is it Irish Heritage Awareness? Not really. Alcohol Awareness Month. Irish Drunkard Awareness Month. Nah. It's just kind of like, it's spring, have fun. That's what March is, pretty much. It's like, hey, it's spring. The winter should be getting over. Go have some fun. Go to the rodeo. Go to the fairgrounds, right? Go spread your wings. I love it. Okay. Go let your hair down or whatever. I think that's okay. So March, really, I don't know what's going on in March. April is famous for having disturbing weather patterns, especially rainy ones, flood ones. April showers bring May flowers, was the old adage. Still applies today. I remember it was epic flood in 2016. It was the tax day floods, and I actually drove through it to work. Thankfully, I worked right by my apartment, to the chagrin of many of my coworkers. I lived right next door to my job, and it was basically a block down. And so commuting really wasn't. Yeah, I got away with it for a while. Like, I got away with it for like, I think, what was it, 4 years, 5 years? Yeah. Being right next to my employment. It was pretty nice sometimes, I'd say that. It's like, well, I guess being close to your job can be a bad thing. Because then maybe people expect you to be at work more since you live right next door. So that could be a bad thing. Maybe people call in from far away, say, I can't get there, the traffic. And then you're like, oh, well, Scott's right next door. So yeah, that could be kind of a negative. I can see how that could be a negative thing. So April is known for just having showers, lots and lots of showers. The rate of rainfall was so epic that I saw it like literally coming up to the car. And I've never seen rain fall that fast before, where it was just pond. I mean, it was just fucking, it was flooding. And I was really amazed, but I was scared because it was going up so fast. So I got in my car and then went through this massive fucking epic days and days of torrential rain. And I guess I did fear for my life, like I wasn't going to be able to make it. It was on the biblical side, let's say. I've never seen rains that were comparable to biblical type events before, so I was pretty on edge on that one. On that particular day. Yeah, it was a crappy day, but I was happy to make it home, though. That's the relief. May is known for May flowers, the continuation of spring. Okay. Is it anything else? Is it like, I don't know what the different ethnicities would. I don't know if they have Pakistani Awareness Month or what. If they have Arab Appreciation Month, they probably do. I mean, leftists and liberals, they always make these kind of months. Now, the Democrats try to attempt to secure African Americans to keep them from going over to the conservative Republican Party. They have not just they weren't really satisfied with MLK Day. They weren't satisfied with Black History Month. These were not satisfactory enough, so they had to take it even further, and but they decided to make June, for some reason, Gay Awareness Month, right? It was LGBTQ Appreciation Month, right? But the Biden-Harris administration, to secure those black votes, or to try to secure them anyway. I mean, if they're failing as a Democrat party, if they're failing as a party and an organization, an administration, they're going to lose black votes if the black people are, don't have enough jobs or poor or the economy's crashing or something like that. They're still not going to get them. But they try to court the African American vote for obvious reasons, because that's 13% of the population, and that's why they try so hard to at least grandstand that they're the party for the Africans, right? So Biden and his cronies and homies are trying to act like they got the brothers and sisters back, and do they really? Nah, I mean, they just want your vote so they can run things and stay in power. It's not like they really love the brothers and sisters or some shit, as they pretend to do. But Biden and Obama, they go to their Martha's Vineyard or Delaware Beach estates, and there's probably not much brothers and sisters to be found. But to keep themselves in charge and power, well, they have to court the Africans, of course. So when the Democrats took power in 2020 from the Chinese plague, from the COVID-19 coronavirus, they took the U.S. Senate and also the U.S. House, the entire Congress, the U.S. House of Representatives, the U.S. Senate, and they took the White House. So that means they controlled two branches of government, or at least half the government, at least. More than half, actually. Well, yes, of course, there was already Black History Month. There was already MLK holiday. Some African American holidays in there. Not all the African Americans celebrate Kwanzaa, for instance. So then they decided to make Juneteenth kind of an obscure holiday, and basically Texas history a federal holiday. Yeah, but there's no holiday about Texas independence that's federally recognized, about kicking the Mexicans back to Mexico. I guess they would deem that racist, I suppose. But I think Texas and the nation should have a Texas Independence Day for kicking out the Imperial Mexicans and the Spanish back to Mexico. I think that was a great holiday. That'd be a great holiday idea. I think I'd put that if I was in Congress representing Texas or something. I would say, hey, why don't we make a Texas Independence celebration in March? There's no federal holidays in March. And then maybe I'd make I'd make the St. Patrick's to be like a celebration. And maybe I'd make White History Month too. I'd make like March like like Caucasian History Month, because that's like rodeos anyways, and stuff like that. And I know that there was African and Mexican cowboy vaqueros, and I know all that, but I'm saying that, like, yeah, I mean, why not have a Caucasian History Month? I think that would be pretty cool, because everybody else seems to have a month. What do they have? Indigenous Peoples Day, or so everybody gets a history celebration month except white people for some reason. I don't know what that reason is, but I think we already know what that reason is. But so when the Democrats they wanted to court the black vote more and not let it slip from their fingers, the minority vote in general, even though they're not very excited about losing the minority vote of the Hispanics, because that's a rapidly growing demographic, because they failed to protect our borders. So it's flooding in with millions and millions of illegals. And those people come from Latin American countries and speak mostly Spanish, exclusively Spanish. And so, yeah, they're kind of not very happy that a lot of the people that came from Latin American countries, from socialist countries, from communist countries, or we'll just call them socialist countries, Marxist countries, are not voting Democrat. They're not voting left. And so, to their chagrin, to their consternation, to their anxiety, a lot of these people are conservatives, at least religiously, and with the family structure and traditional values and stuff like that. So it turns out that they do want freedom, and they are voting Republican. So I guess that's the irony of the Democrats, is they import and they open the border to all these illegals and foreigners, and that they automatically assume that these people from socialist and Marxist countries are going to vote left automatically, that they got this demographic in the bag, and then when they get here they don't do that, and so that's why I think that's why they're desperately trying to court the black vote. Because the Democrat Party cannot reliably depend on foreigners for their existence and for their continuation of power, for them to maintain power. They can't reliably vote on, be voted in on native citizens or foreign-born people, Latin Americans. And so, they're kind of in a rock and a hard place there, because they can't force people to vote a certain way. All they can do is just leave the borders open, leave it flooded with foreign people, and just hope to God they can court them to vote for them. But there's no guarantee that they're going to get the votes, so they can perpetually retain power. So to try to solidify that African American vote, what they did was they decided that, so the slaves did not know that they were free in Texas after the Civil War was over. So Union soldiers came into Galveston, Texas, and informed the slaves that they were free on June 19th, apparently, 1865 or something, after the Civil War was over. So now they created, a retroactive sort of kind of a Texas holiday, not really a federal holiday, but now it's a federal holiday because the Democrats wanted to court the African American vote. So I guess they did not want people in this country to just go, oh, it's Black History Month. And then so for a month on the media, on the leftist media, they could say, hey, it's Black History Month. Hey, it's Black History Month in February. And February is kind of a short month anyway. I guess the left wanted to virtue signal, and they wanted to also be like, hey, it's June, it's Juneteenth. Yeah, it's when the slaves found out they were free in Texas. And hey, it's right after Gay Month, or it's right in the middle of Gay Month. I'm sorry. So it's like, hey, it's the gays. Hey, don't you love the gays? And it's like, well, you don't have to love the gays, but they try to force people to love it or something, right? LGBTQ plus IA or trans. It's like, hey guys, don't you love this? Love it. Don't you love dudes dressing up like chicks and stuff? I want you to love it. I mean, that's basically what they're saying, right? We want you to celebrate it. Like, we want you to get out there just like you do because your ancestors were Irish. We want you, just like on St. Patrick's Day, to put on green and go out there and celebrate green and orange and celebrate your Irish heritage. But we don't want you to do that, because we want, even if you're white, to go out there on Juneteenth and be dancing and shit about the freedom from slavery. We don't want you to just do your own holidays like Christmas or your own faith, or we want you to celebrate shit you don't even agree with. Or we want to force you to celebrate holidays that you don't want to celebrate, really. Like that you don't agree that should have ever been a holiday in the first place. So it is not that someone is against certain people being free from slavery. That's not what it is. It's just the media thinks that we're supposed to celebrate it as much as we do everything else, and or equally give equal love to all of these ridiculous holidays. And for the record, I don't celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day, and I don't know how other Native Americans, celebrate people with Native American blood and how they do it. It's kind of a tricky thing. I'll say I still call it what it's traditionally called, Christopher Columbus Day. So I'll still continue to celebrate Christopher Columbus Day, even if the wokesters changed it to Indigenous Peoples Day. They're just kind of new speaking the language into some sort of Orwellian speak. And I think it went from political correctness to wokeness, and now it's going into new speak. It's going into George Orwell 1984 territory. Obviously. You want to have like a breakfast biscuit? Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. For real. We got one last Jimmy Dean sausage. It's not really as good as like fast food, but it's good enough. It gets the job be done. Or I might just have some like cereal, right? So what's July? Well, July is July 4th, the celebration of the birth of the nation. Didn't mean to be a poet on that one, but there it is. The celebration of the birth of the nation during the Bidenflation. So that's I suppose that's July is like Patriot Month. I suppose. August is like just what, back to school or something. Back to Okay. Get prepared for back to school, the closing of the summer, the last of the dreaded dog days of summer, and the bitter heat, and the preamble to autumn, the prelude to autumn. I meant to say, called it the preamble, like it was the Constitution. But, anyways, it's not a document; it's the prelude. September is. I know they have like Cancer Awareness Month, but it's hard to keep up with what like they have. Is Heart Month? Is that March or February? I know every time on the news when it's like it's National Pizza Day, it's like I know there is an unofficial holiday, which is a math nerds holiday in March. It's 3/14, right? Pie Day. You make pizza pie and you celebrate mathematics or something. 3/14. The pi symbol. Yeah. Celebrate algebra and geometry. Not all people do. I'm just saying that some people do. All right. Some people that are into. Now, people were kind of thinking of this before, like Big Bang Theory. I know Big Bang Theory tries to act like it thought of all these concepts or something like that. It basically, most of art is based on something else, some other idea. I'm not saying that people do not create original ideas. What I'm trying to say here is that Big Bang Theory did not create nerd culture or Pi Day, for instance. It just, if it did have an episode about it, it was using those ideas to try to make a funny episode out of, nerdy type stuff. So, like Big Bang Theory did not invent multiplayer online gaming or gaming culture, for instance. That was already going on for a long time before Big Bang Theory even, filmed a scene, or before the writers even wrote a page. So they say that, I guess what's coming up is Hispanic Heritage Month in October. Okay, so I guess that's Hispanic Heritage Month. What's Hispanic? I guess it means Latino people, Spanish people, people of Spanish descent. I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, some people are like, well, what is the difference between a Latino, a Hispanic, and somebody who's Spanish? And then people kind of get confused if they're Mexican and Guatemalan. Yeah, it is. It can be confusing because, like, well, it would be easier if it would be a lot more simple for people that were not Latino, not from Latin America. It would be easy for us if we could just see people that look different and they all spoke different languages if they were from different countries. Like, you can tell between Brazilians and Mexicans because the Brazilians speak Portuguese and the Mexicans speak Spanish, and they look more like they breeded with indigenous people in Mexico, like Aztecs. And so they look like almost like kind of tribal looking from there. So they look Aztec and they look Toltec and all that stuff, Olmec and Mesoamerican tribes. The Spanish, obviously, when they conquered the natives, also mated with them. So, anyways, that's why they look and that's why they are the way they are, right? So, and of course, some of the MS-13 and the gangbangers from Mexico and the drug cartels, some of them even proudly wear Aztec symbols. They're very proud of being Aztec or Aztec in heritage. And it would seem strange to others to be proud of being Aztec, but you know, if I got really into my Cherokee heritage, people wouldn't really find that bizarre. Or if I went into, or maybe they would, I don't know. But if I got a Cherokee tattoo or something, people say, "What is that?" Well, that's Cherokee symbol. Or if I got into Irish culture, started celebrating potatoes or something, folk music or poetry, I guess people wouldn't find that too bizarre, would they? So I don't really find it too bizarre that a gangbanger from Mexico, from MS-13 or something, has an Aztec, that he's doing Aztec gang symbols. I'm not necessarily surprised, I guess, really. That seems logical. I don't celebrate being part of a drug gang, but I do understand why somebody would be of Aztec heritage and they would be doing Aztec tattoos and symbols and things. That does, at least it makes sense. So if things are logical and they make sense, then that's pleasing to me. If they don't make sense, then that's obviously uncomfortable. Okay, so we're in. So it wouldn't be bad if it was like going to be Hispanic Heritage Month, and it wouldn't be bad if it was Hispanic Heritage Month, and then they were like, "Hey, it's Hispanic Heritage Month." I guess so. What's the problem about it? The problem is that the media is like right before Gay Month, they're asking people to get excited about it on TV, on the news. So the media is like, "Aren't you excited about LGBT gayness?" And they start doing that stuff in May, but it's not even the month that they're just trying to get you ready for it. Like, aren't you ready to celebrate and put on a rainbow suit and go dancing in the gay pride parade? It's that they assume that we're excited about all of these ethnic and cultural celebrations, but most people aren't. But the media is trying to pretend like we are supposed to be super excited about it, which is kind of the problem. The expectation that people are going to get hyped about Hispanic Heritage Month, the unrealistic expectation that people are going to get excited about Asian Heritage Month or something. So I don't expect everybody to get excited about Irish culture or St. Patrick's Day, for instance. I don't expect everybody to get excited about Christmas, even though I love Christmas. So some people are more exuberant about Halloween than I am. I'm just like, it's Halloween. But I guess, I think you have to have children to really get into, children or grandchildren to really get into Halloween. I think that's more of like, you can still get into Christmas and not have children of your own. But I see people that really get into Halloween. They do all the decorating and all the spooks and ghouls and stuff more for the entertainment. They are entertained as well as adults, but it's mostly for entertainment of the children. The joy, bringing joy to their children is really what they want to do. And I admire that. I admire that you want to bring joy to your children because it's a fleeting time, and before you know it, they'll be all grown up and having to deal with the adult business, and that's nice. They want to give their children a healthy fantasy world of the ghouls and goblins, and maybe some other people want to give their children amazing Christmases, whether it's religiously based or not. And so that's pretty exciting. But let me see, Hispanic Heritage Month. So for some reason, Hispanic Heritage Month is September 15th through October 15th. So again, they've spread it over 2 months. So why don't you just have it, all October or all September? This kind of thing, like spreading it out. I mean, is there a reason for this? What is the reason? What is the reason of spreading, cultural, ethnic appreciation or national appreciation of other nations or whatever, or other cultures? What is the point of spreading it out like over multiple months? It's so that people cannot escape it. So it can't just be like in one ear and out the other. Is that they want you to like really focus on it? So my bad. I thought it was coming up, and I thought that the media was, they're like, hey, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. Aren't you excited? And I guess some people are excited, are they not? And am I excited about it? Well, I would say a little less than excited, I would say. I would say not really excited at all. You won't find me at the Hispanic Heritage Parade if that's what you're getting at. Not because I dislike Latinos or Hispanics. That is not true. But why should I celebrate people for being in existence? Well, that seems... Well, if you want to celebrate people for existing, why don't you just have People Month or something? Let's celebrate the Human Race Month. Yeah. Let's have Humanity Month. No, they want to specifically celebrate their culture and their language and their heritage specifically, I suppose. So why it's September 15th to October 15th, I don't know. I could look it up. I don't feel like researching every angle of it, though. It's really not out of laziness, but lack of interest. It's really... Well, if the left, if Democrats wanted equality, they could have... They say it's... Some people were saying it's a racist notion to even demand or suggest even, or even give the inclination that there's a Caucasian, Anglo-Saxon white history month or white celebration month. Why not? Everybody else has a celebration month, or they have multiple celebration days. Why should the USA have European Ancestry Celebration Month? White People Appreciation Month. Why not? Sounds pretty... Everybody else has their ethnicity celebration month, right? would love a celebration of our type of people. Since it's, what, is it white people, is it 60, 70% of the US population? We'd like our own, like, celebration. Or appreciation month or something. Well, I guess Mom's ate the last Jimmy Dean. Oh. Guess we're gonna have to have cereal now. That's all right, because we need to use the milk anyway. So. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, Chickadee checks yourself before you wrecks yourself. Blueberry style. Okay. That milk in there, baby. So why don't we have equality of ethnic cultural holidays? Kind of like, or equality of racial holidays, or racial celebration months.